All right, NFL Nation, let's get into it. We had the NFL schedule released last night. I didn't watch, but I kept up to date. I saved some stuff, so I'll probably have to pause this video a few times. But anyways, some of it was leaked Tuesday. Some of it was a couple things were leaked Tuesday and Wednesday. But yeah, let's get into it. Obviously, I just want to go over some of the normal games. Like I just want to go over the opening day game and the Thursday night game, the Wednesday and Thursday game. Obviously, I want to go over the Thanksgiving Day games, the Christmas Day games, and the international games. So let's get right into it. Obviously, the season will kick off on September. Obviously, the NFL season will kick off on September 9th, which is a Wednesday, with a rematch of last year's Super Bowl between the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks and New England Patriots. I think this will once again, I mean, most of that game wasn't really good, but I do think this will be a very good game. And then we move to the Thursday night game. Then we got the Thursday night game, which is usually the opener. And this year that will pit division rivals, which will be, so that Thursday night game, the day after the Seahawks and Rams, the first Thursday night game of the year, which will be September 10th, obviously, which will be Thursday, September 10th. The first Thursday night game this year will be obviously the first Thursday night game. The first Thursday night game this year will obviously be Thursday, September 10th, which will pit NFC West rivals, the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams. I think this will be a heck of a game to kick it off. Them two first matchups, Seahawks, Rams, Niners, Rams. Them first two matchups between the Seahawks and the Patriots on Wednesday, September 9th, and the Rams and Niners on Thursday, September 10th. These two matchups got two great matchups to kick off the season. Now let's get into them Thanksgiving Day games. Thanksgiving Day games. Then on Thanksgiving, guys, we got three games on Thanksgiving. We got Bears-Eagles. Thanksgiving Day games. This year we got three of them. We got Bears at the Lions. We got Thanksgiving Day games this year. We got Bears at Lions. Cowboys at Eagles. So we got the three things. We got the Thanksgiving Day games this year is going to be, starting it off on Thanksgiving Day, we got the Bears at the Lions. And then we will have the second game up, which will be the Eagles at the Cowboys. And then we have the third game up. So yeah, Bears at Lions, Eagles at Cowboys, and then the Chiefs at the Bills. Them are your Thanksgiving Day games. Depending on how the Bears are looking this year, I think there are really three good games. Three good games. Then on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, basically, we will have the Denver Broncos at the Pittsburgh Steelers. That ought to be another good matchup there. Then let's move into some of the international games. Then on Christmas Eve this year, we will have the Houston Texans at the Philadelphia Eagles. So on Christmas Eve this year, we will have the Houston Texans at the Philadelphia Eagles. That should be another good matchup. Two good defenses there. Two potentially very potent, dangerous offenses there. Then on Christmas Day, we got Packers at Bears. That game will be on Netflix, I believe. And then we got, so on Christmas Day, we got the Packers at the Bears. We got the Bills at the Broncos. And then to cap it off, we'll have a rematch of last year's NFC Championship, which will be the Rams. So to cap off Christmas Day, we will have a recap of last year's, to cap off Christmas Day, we will have a rematch of last year's NFC Championship between the Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. And the Rams will travel to Seattle for that game. Three very good games there. Obviously, Bills and Broncos. By that time, them two, I would think, will be battling for the playoffs and a playoff spot. Bears and Packers, obviously, that's the oldest rivalry in the game. That's the Bears-Packers, the oldest rivalry. So start off with Bears and Packers. Christmas Day, what more could you ask for a Bears-Packers rivalry? At Soldier Field, going to be a heck of a game. Hopefully the snow's falling in that one. Hopefully it's a white Christmas there. I would assume that's going to be possibly at that point. Them two are going to be battling for a division championship and battling for playoff spots. But yeah, And then obviously, Bills, then the Bills and the Broncos, they should be battling for playoff spots there. Two very good teams there. Probably two favorites in the AFC to probably win the AFC Championship and go to the Super Bowl. And then the last game, a rematch of last year's NFC Championship. I think two teams that everybody's going to highly tout as Super Bowl favorites for this year between the Rams and the Seahawks. So three good games there on Christmas Day. Now last but not least, let's get into them international games. So, all right, guys, we will have an international game we have 9 of them. And the first one will be in week 1, which will be that Thursday, which will be the opening Thursday night game, which will be the Niners and the Rams. And that game is in Australia. That ought to be a heck of a matchup. West Division rivals. These two teams should be there at the end battling for probably a top 3-4 seed, I would assume. Anyways, yeah. Let's move on to that second international. Week 3 will be our next international game, which will be in Brazil, which will be between the Cowboys and the Ravens, which ought to be another good matchup. Cowboys have kind of retooled that defense this year, I think. Battle probably potentially 2 really good defenses there. Possibly 2 good offenses. And then let's get into the third international game. Week 4 in London, we got the Colts and Commanders. That ought to be a really good game. Hopefully them two teams improve from last year. They were both, obviously Jaden went down last year. Commanders suffered before because of it. Colts lost their starting quarterback. Kind of went downhill after that. But the Colts were at one point last year a playoff team, so that ought to be a very good game. Then week 5 in London, also week 5 in London, we will have the Eagles and the Jags. I think this could potentially be in what the Jags do. The Jags have had a decent offseason, depending on what they do over the summer. I think this will be another good matchup of two teams that have potentially very explosive offenses and possibly very good defenses. So I think this will be a heck of a matchup. Then in week 6, we will have our third and final game in London for the international game, which will be between, that third and final game in London for the international game will be between the Texans and the Jags. So obviously the Jags get back-to-back game in London. So there you go. Now let's move on to the next international game. Our sixth international game up will be in week 7 in Paris, France, between the Saints and the Steelers. Ought to be another good matchup there. Interesting matchup, to say the least. Two teams that probably won't be all that good this year. And our seventh international game will be in week 9 in Spain between the Bengals and the Falcons. Now, I'm disappointed because the Bears are highly touted and loved over in Spain, so I thought the Bears would get this. But then again, that just means I don't have to get up early. So yeah, that matchup in Spain between the Bengals and the Falcons. Two young teams there for the most part. I think this ought to be a very good matchup. I think Bengals will come out with a win here probably, though. They're the better team here. But we'll find out with Tua going to the Falcons this year. We'll never know. Our 8th international game will be held in Munich, Germany. Our 8th international game for the year will be held in Munich, Germany. And that will be between... our 8th international game this year will be in Munich, Germany between the Patriots and the Lions. That'll be a good matchup. 2 good offense, 2 good defenses. But yeah. And our 9th and final international game will be in week 11 in Mexico City between the Vikings and the Niners. Ought to be a good matchup. Vikings are young. They lost a lot of people from last year. Got a lot of new people, so this ought to be interesting. I still think the Niners will probably dominate that game, but yeah. There you have it, guys. Your notable stuff from the schedule released last night. Sorry for pausing a lot. Just a lot to go over. But y'all guys, all enjoy your Friday. And let's go. It's almost NFL time, baby. Just about 3. We got about 2.5 months to go, and we'll be at the preseason already. But anyways, let's go.